The Board of Trustees regular meeting is now called to order at 4:31 p.m. We welcome members of the public. Instructions on making public comment are posted in item 1 on the agenda. We will ask at each item if there is public comment. I'd like to introduce Armando Robles, our new, what's your official title? Chief of Staff, to Dr. Powell. Welcome, Armando.
Thank you.
Will you please do roll call?
Yes. Trustee Baker,
Here.
Trustee DeLuna, Trustee Dodd, here. Trustee Iverson, here. Trustee Kishnev,
Here.
Trustee Rios,
Here.
Trustee Olson,
Here.
and I'm sorry, I should have started with Student Trustee Dizon.
Here.
And we do have quorum.
Thank you. Can I ask Trustee Iverson to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? As we gather today, it is important to acknowledge that Napa Valley College and the surrounding Napa Valley sit on the unceded traditional, ancestral, and contemporary homelands of the Miwok, Patwin, which are comprised of 3 federally recognized tribes, the Kasheldahi Band of Winton Indians and the Calusa Indian Community, the Quetzaldahi Band of Winton Indians, and the Yoshadahi Winton Nation, and Wapo, including the Mishawal Wapo, also known as the Onosatis peoples. As part of Napa Valley College's mission of transforming lives through excellent educational and professional opportunities that are student-centered, equity-focused, and community-oriented, and in accordance with the college's values of accountability, integrity, inclusion, respect, social justice, and sustainability, we make this acknowledgement. We also affirm that this acknowledgement is insufficient. It does not undo the harm that has been and continues to be perpetrated against Indigenous people, the land, and water. May we hold steady in our commitment to be in solidarity and in action to seek equity and justice with the Miwok, Patwin, and Wapo peoples. Action item 2.4, adoption of the agenda. We will be pulling item 13.6, Music Festival Agreement, from today's agenda due to some pending final details. Are there any additional changes to the agenda? All right, the agenda is adopted as amended by consensus. Item 3.4, Classified Association Report, Kira Sullivan. Is joining us via Zoom.
Hello. Just taking a moment to ensure I'm connected. Great. All right. Good afternoon. My name is Kira Sullivan. I'm honored to be addressing you today for the first time in my new role as president of the Union of Classified Professionals. Today, I'm tasked with providing a constituent group update. And to do that, I'll start with a few key stats. The union has installed a new executive board as of July 1st, 2025. Our current membership count is 123 classified professional employees. Contract negotiations have been ongoing now for 16 months, and classified have been working out of contract since June of 2024. To speak more generally, the state of our constituent group is this. We are fed up. As a group, we are overworked, consistently taking on extra tasks or overtime due to unfilled positions. We're underpaid, struggling to make do with wages that have failed to keep pace with the cost of living. And 16 months of fruitless bargaining has eroded the trust between classified and management. Simply put, we are not buying the line that they've given us their, quote, best offer. In a recent survey of classified professionals, which gathered a whopping 96% response rate, 94% of respondents indicated that they were willing to participate in a strike should one become necessary. As of today, we are moving forward in this process, scheduling a formal strike vote. Our membership is unified on this issue, and if we are not presented with a fair contract, classified professionals will go on strike. Once again, I am asking you as members of the board to do the right thing. In closed session, you must direct management to come back to the table with the intention of bargaining in good faith in order to avert a strike. And that concludes my update. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kara. John Kinchelo?
Hello. Think you can hear me? Oh, I can't turn on my camera. That's okay though.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Hi everybody. Hold on one second. Happy summer. I hope you are all doing well. First of all, I hope everybody's having a great summer. I know that it's a weird time at the college because we don't have as many students on campus, but we're working hard. And I know a lot of our faculty take the summer to re-energize and relax, but we also have a significant number of faculty working over the summer to make sure our students stay on track with their goals. I wanted to highlight in particular our dedicated counseling faculty who are hard at work meeting and corresponding with students to make sure they're keeping track of their progress, planning, and focusing on their diverse goals here at NVC. I want to express a wholehearted thank you to them. Anyway, on to the fun stuff. We are now 3 weeks into our second year with no contract. This is not for lack of trying on both sides, and I do want to commend the district negotiators for working with us as much as they have. That said, the fact that we are working over the summer a little on this, something we don't traditionally do, is testament to our dedication to work out a fair contract as soon as we possibly can. However, in the interest of using my time as productively as possible today in front of our esteemed board, and thank you again for this opportunity, I wanted to focus on one particular important aspect of our bargaining that I think the board in particular should be focused on. That is the reserve. Obviously, you've heard lots of information from Dr. Powell and Vice President Reeves that maintaining a healthy reserve is vital to our institution's success at maintaining fiscal responsibility. I don't disagree with that at all. I have heard those same arguments and agree with them fundamentally. However, I also believe that our fair board, in your capacity as arbiters of that responsibility, must make some hard decisions about the immediate future of our district and what our priorities are. But let me be a little bit more clear. We in NVCFA, the faculty, have seen a few different projections and modeling about how the budgeting will shake out over the next 5 years. In all of these projections, there are a few consistencies, but the most notable one is actually a lack of consistency. The reserve always fluctuates year to year. Again, I understand the district's desire to keep the reserve as high or as close to 16.67% as possible. 16.67 is, again, a recommendation and not a requirement. However, it is in this fluctuation that we believe our esteemed board can find a middle ground with the district's desire to keep the reserve higher than it has been historically, and the need to meet the district's commitment to help the faculty achieve the fair pay they deserve in the form of a modest salary increase that continues to increase relative to any additional property tax revenue the district may receive. At this point, both sides are honestly in general agreement on the fundamentals of the salary increases over the next contract period. But we, the faculty, just want an equitable amount of any additional revenue that the district may receive in the future. This equity, we believe, lies in the fluctuation of that reserve. In summary, we believe that by sacrificing a little bit of the reserve, approximately less than 2%, a modest fluctuation in the broader scheme of things, we can achieve a fair contract for both sides together. In any case, we will have an offer in the hands of the district negotiators soon that reflects these efforts, and we hope our esteemed board is willing to consider it and help us move into the next phase of our work to support the success of our students and NVC as a whole. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, John. At this time, the board will devote a total of up to 15 minutes to hear comments regarding closed session agenda items. Individual comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Is there any public comment?
Madam Chair, there's no public comment at this time.
Okay. At this time, the board will move into closed session covering conference with labor negotiators, public employee performance evaluation, and pursuant to section 54957, public employment. And we will return at 5:40. There was no reportable action from closed session. At this time, we will move to public comment. This public comment opportunity is governed by the California Brown Act. By definition, this is an opportunity to hear concerns, perspectives, and differing vantage points. The board is not able, under the Brown Act, to engage in any level of conversation or discussion, but we look forward to this opportunity to gather community input. At this time, the board will devote up to 15 minutes to review comments to the Board of Trustees regarding any subject not appearing as an agenda item for this meeting, but over which the board has jurisdiction. No action or discussion will occur at this time on such items. Each comment shall last no longer than 3 minutes. Armando, is there public comment?
Madam Chair, there is no public comment at this time.
Okay, great. Moving on to consent calendar. May I have a motion? Trustee Iverson made a motion. Trustee DeLuna seconded. Although, actually, wait a minute. Before discussion, I will be abstaining from item 8.9 of the consent calendar due to my employment with Ventus. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Do we need to vote on this separately if you're abstaining from one? So we'll
Pull that.
approve all except the 8.9.
Okay, so we will pull that out and vote on everything
So
other than item 8.9.
Kyle's making an amended motion to,
Amended the motion for everything else, but removed the vote separately.
8.3 or 8.9?
Right?
Thanks. Okay,
and I'll second the amended motion.
Trustee Iverson made an amended motion. Trustee DeLuna seconded. All those in favor of all items other than 8.9?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
And I'll make a motion to approve 8.9.
Trustee DeLuna made a motion. Trustee Iverson seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Just one abstention.
You should abstain.
I have abstained from that one. I did not vote. Okay, now we are on action discussion item 9.1, Board of Trustees self-evaluation. This item was tabled from the board's June 18th, 2025 special meeting. As per AP 2745 board self-evaluation, the board will review. We're going to review the survey of self-assessment to identify the board's strengths and challenges. And number 2, discuss professional development opportunities for the year. I'd like to acknowledge and thank all our trustees for taking the time to fill out the board's self-evaluation. We'd like a little more time to discuss the results of this evaluation, as some topics deserve deeper conversation. So I suggest that we revisit the findings in a subsequent meeting, potentially our winter retreat. But then I would like to share 3 professional development opportunities we'd like to divvy up among trustees. And if any of you are interested in these opportunities, we have the 2025 annual convention, November 20th to 22nd at the Hyatt Regency in Orange County. We have the effective trustee workshop and board chair workshop, January 23rd to 26th in Sacramento in 2026. And then we have the annual trustees conference, May 1 through 3 in 2026 at Dana Point.
I'd like to go to the November
In Orange County.
I have a triple CT board meeting that weekend too.
Perfect. Trustee DeLuna, anybody else like to attend that one?
They're the one in May, I think.
In Dana Point. Okay.
Dana Point or
I don't think we can send 4 people to Dana Point. We've got. Okay, and we've got Iverson and, God, is there a golf course in Dana Point by any
yeah,
chance?
lots of nice. I'm just joking. By the way.
What's the rule on this? Was something people? Well, we've got,
I think we just need to reconcile against what our.
okay. Okay. How about the effective trustee workshop and board chair workshop in Sacramento in January? I know all of us have been to that several times.
I think we should look at the legislative one that kind of happens afterwards. So it starts on Sunday. No, the one in January. That's right after the effective trustee. Just to see what they're, once we get closer, to see what topics we might need to advocate for, because we are a small group of locally funded colleges that I think we need to keep on top of that.
Okay.
That's a great suggestion, especially in light of our efforts with the Legislative Affairs Committee
Uh-huh.
to be more vocal.
So we'll look into that. We'll look at our budget and see what we can do to meet everybody's wishes. If anybody else has any other interest, just email Dr. Powell or Armando. So can I have a motion to accept the completion of the self-evaluation with the caveat that we will be discussing the actual findings at a further date?
Move to accept.
Trustee Baker has made a motion.
Second.
Trustee Rios seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Item 10.1, consideration to enter into employment agreement. Prior to considering this matter, as required by Government Code Section 54953C3, I am providing an oral summary of the recommendation regarding the salary and fringe benefits under the proposed contract. Classified administrator. The district is entering into an employment agreement with James Reeves as Assistant Superintendent, Vice President, Administrative Services beginning July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2028. The Assistant Superintendent Vice President will receive a monthly salary at range 3, step K on the Vice President salary schedule, which is $20,818. Salary will be prorated for any partial month of service. The Assistant Superintendent Vice President shall be entitled to receive the same fringe benefits as the Administrative Confidential Employee Group. Is there any public comment?
Madam Chair, no public comment at this time.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion?
Second.
Trustee Iverson made a motion. Trustee Baker seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item 13.1, project initiation, building 1100 modernization, EOPS Next Up program. Vice President Reeves.
Thank you, President Olson. These next two are notices and requests to proceed on two improvement projects. The first is an ELPS Next Up program and building 1100. The funds for this are coming solely from ELPS and Next Up categorical programs. And Dr. Guerrero may want to spend a moment speaking to the benefits those will bring.
Yeah, so specifically, if you've been in the 1100 building in the recent past, you'll know that it definitely could use some upgrades, more specifically around making sure we're creating spaces of belonging for students, which is what the plan is intended to do, to really create an opportunity for community building, an opportunity for students to come together in one central location, which we know is a number one indicator of success, and when students feel connected and are able to create community with their staff, with other students.
So the staff recommends approval of this based on the fact that there is no funds from district unrestricted funds, and based on the analysis of business services and student services, the available funds through categorical will fully fund these improvements.
I move to approve.
Trustee Kishnef made a motion, trustee Baker seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item 13.2, project initiation, building 400, basic needs center relocation. Vice President Reeves.
Thank you again. This is a basic needs. Many of you know where our basic needs is currently located, below the small theater in a fairly tight and cramped corner. Basic needs is in high demand, as Alex will share with you in just a moment, and is being moved to the 400 building, to the entry floor at the 400 building, which has available and underutilized space. It is currently being utilized by a community organization, the SOL program. However, we will be able to maintain, with this improvement, available space for that program. So, Dr. Guerrero, do you want to mention that as well?
Well, just really echoing what VP Reeves said, space is critical and important, especially as we think about student needs. And as we consider ways to continue to support our students, having a basic needs that's actually more centrally located, that has access for all of our students, is going to make a huge impact. The other piece of it that's really critical and important to recognize is the proximity to our housing program. So it actually will be in closer proximity to the housing program, which will be a huge support to them as well. So long-term goal is to really think about services in a well-rounded support networks of services available to students, from our basic needs to hopefully our health centers and whatnot in the future. So really thinking about kind of a one-stop shop model. This moves us towards doing that, especially around basic needs. So I would appreciate the support. The students would appreciate the support of the board for this.
Again, this project is being funded from basic needs categorical funds wholly. The only resources that the district will provide are staff resources, much the same as the earlier EOPS Next Step program, in terms of some maintenance staff, facility staff being able to support some aspects of that. There's no financial implications for the unrestricted general fund for this project either.
If I may, just add one small comment. These two facilities have been identified as facilities in much need of significant upgrades and repair, and reconsideration of space since before I arrived here. Definitely been a talking point. So I just want to commend our VP team, our administrative team, for the creative solutions and the finding the resources to make such critical moves necessary. I know it has not been easy, and I want to give you my public thanks for your continued work in this space.
Motion to approve.
Is there public comment?
No public comment.
Okay, trustee Dodd made a motion and trustee Iverson seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Information item 13.3, Wine Education Complex Phase 2 update. Vice President Reeves.
Thank you again, President Olson. At the June meeting of the Board of Trustees, the board adopted a conditioned approval to proceed with the Wine Education Center Phase 2, conditioned on the budget being not impacting the unrestricted general fund of the district, and requested that a budget report be returned to the board for review, and we are providing that here tonight. I will share with you that several parties have been working diligently to review costs, to ask for concessions, and to actually ask for reduced costs. The construction budget itself came in considerably above what our original budget was, and subsequently caused several at the foundation and here at the college to recognize that if we were to move with phase 2 of this project, that we would not have the funds to complete it. Based on the work that has been accomplished here, we have gone through and sought Again, reductions in cost. We have sought a reduction in cost from Kitchell, the construction manager, who provided some reductions. We also went through some value engineering, which is effectively an exercise in which we go through the aspects of the project and determine if those are must needs or like that, like we would like them or we must have them. And so we were able to reduce that with some value engineering. In addition, we were able to commit to a rollover from phase one of a small amount. Today, that the foundation has given us a not to exceed number of $3.6 million. Today, that budget with the contingency is at 3558741, or just about $32,000 below this $3.6 million. We have worked this pretty hard. I would give lots of credit to Samantha Maddox and facilities and others who have been banging hard on the door of all of these vendors to get reduced costs and to have them put a sharper pencil to these numbers. So this is the update to the budget. In a subsequent resolution, there are assurances that this will not impact the unrestricted general fund of the college, nor will other funds be used that are college funds for this project. Certainly entertain any questions.
Any questions?
Just on the tariff impacts, is that kind of like a estimate on that?
What we've done is we're going to share the risk of the tariff here. The project's going to share it with the contractor. So if the tariffs don't hit some of those supplies, then it'll realize a gain to the budget, but it could go up to the amount that we have indicated here.
Any other questions? Okay, moving on to action item 13.4, resolution 2519, revised to award a construction contract to Midstate Construction for phase 2 of the Wine Education Center. Vice President Reeves.
This is a resolution. It looks very familiar from last month. However, we wanted to strengthen the language here to indicate that no district funds would be used in this resolution. So it's essentially the same. I need to reference that. Thank you. Whereas no district general funds are being used for the phase 2 of the project, is an add to the resolution you adopted in June at the June board meeting. And that's the change. And this resolution will supersede or replace the resolution you adopted in June.
Is there public comment?
No public comment this time, Madam Chair.
I'll move to adopt the new resolution.
Second.
Trustee Baker made a motion. Trustee Rios seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item 13.5, Kitchell Wine Education Complex Phase 2 Construction Management Contract Amendment 3. Vice President Reeves.
Thank you again, President Olson. This is the contract for phase 2. It's amendment 3, but phase 2 for construction management at the Wine Education Center. It reflects a 50% reduction in the on-site construction manager costs for the project. It's not a 50% reduction from the phase 1, but we are, because of the reduced scope of this project and the less technical needs in this phase 2, which is essentially a tasting room, we're able to reduce the costs for that on-site construction manager. And this is obviously incorporated in the budget I just referenced. And we recommend adoption so that we continue our relationship with Kitchell Construction Management through the conclusion of phase 2 of the Wine Education Center.
Thank you, Vice President Reeves. Is there public comment?
No public comment, Madam Chair.
I have a motion.
Move to approve.
Trustee Rios made a motion. Second. Second. Trustee Baker seconded. Is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Action item 13.7, 2024 to 2025 unrestricted general fund 11, operating fund revenues and expenditures budget update as of June 30th, 2025. Vice President Reeves.
Again, thank you, President Olson. This is an action item. I would remind members of the board that this is typically an information item, and we are recommending this as an action item. As we have mentioned in the past, if there are material changes to a budget, that we would want the Board of Trustees to be aware of that and consider the material change in their consideration of an adopted or an adjusted budget. I'll share with you that as you can see, the top lines, this is a budget report that concludes on June 30th, 2025. I would caution you that this is not a financial statement for the conclusion of the fiscal year that requires audit, and obviously there are adjustments and reclassifications that occur at the end of the year that are not entirely reflected here. However, it does reflect some changes that I'd like to spend a moment with you on. First of all, you'll notice that total revenues are at 110% of budget. And largely that is because we've received additional funds from the IRS as part of a Recovery Act related to the pandemic. You may recall the board adopted in early 24 a resolution that allowed the college to apply for the recovery of these funds as part of pandemic funds. I'll be honest with you, we did not have lots of confidence that they would arrive or that we would receive them. And it turns out that they did arrive a few weeks ago. And so we're reflecting those in this budget. The total amount received was approximately $6.6 million. You'll notice that that the increase on line 1 for federal funding is not quite $6 million because not quite $6.6 million because we had a commitment to our auditor who managed the application process and followed the process throughout. We committed a 10% on the credits received to our auditor to do that. And you'll see that reflected in the expense side. So we're looking at 110% of revenue over expense. I will share with you that that looks very positive here. And as you review those are, we should not expect to see those year over year. Those are one-time revenues. And so I would ask you not to expect to see 110% revenue over budget in future years, certainly. On the expense side, you're noticing at the end of the year, we're close to 100% on most of our expense areas. You'll also note that in our salaries, line 17, we are only at 95%. And recall that we're only 95% because the funds we budgeted for anticipated salary increases have not been spent. Included in that, as we go down to the benefits line, is the same dynamic. We're only at 93% of our benefits at the end of the year, largely because those benefits associated with any salary increases have not been spent. Under total books and supplies, we're at 95%. Certainly this year, we are in good stead there. And total other operating expenses are at 103%. Not too far off, about 200,000 over budget. But we'll provide a final reconciliation as we move through the audit. Our total expenditures at this point of the year are 93% of budget. That is line 49. Or at this point, about $3.7 million under budget. But I would offer again, that's in some measure due to the funds we didn't spend on salaries and benefits this year. It's also not reflective of any of the reconciliations that have not occurred at the end of the year. Just a reminder on that. So the long and short of it is our budget looks very good. I would take you back up to revenues on the property tax side. So far through June, we received 96% of our property tax. So we might see a little trickle in that'll get booked in this fiscal year. However, we're running a little bit below budget on the property tax side. So with that, I would certainly be available for any questions.
I had a quick question.
Please.
I was trying to quickly look up last month, but I didn't get there before, so I'll just let you answer. The final number at the bottom, for our line 53, our reserve, is that 16.6. Does that include both the money that we're kind of holding there right now for the salary increases and the 6 or 5.5 million that we received from the feds?
That's column E. And in column E,
Correct.
that's the board adopted budget that you adopted last September.
Okay.
So-
Okay.
so what
okay.
it is-
So that's just the projection still.
That is the projection.
Okay, got it.
Mhm.
I appreciate you calling out that this is one-time money. I know back in December, the college adopted budget values and assumptions document that was endorsed by both the board and the budget committee. And so one of the things that we said we were going to do that as a part of that is call out when we had revenue, whether it was one time or not. What I'd like to see is it would be great if the college could present some options, suggestions on what we might do with these funds that honors that directive that was a part of that document, that we would only be using one time. We would not be using one-time funds for operations.
Understood. Thank you. Trustee Baker. Any further questions?
Just a comment. I mean, I'm supportive of that, of Trustee Baker's idea or suggestion.
Thank you. We're requesting an adoption of an adjusted budget for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. And I'm also hearing that a recommendation, you're requesting a recommendation from staff about how we manage these funds, and certainly referencing the values and assumptions as in our consideration of that recommendation.
If the rest of the board would support that, I would put that in as a motion.
I'll move for approval with the recommended.
Second. Trustee Iverson made a motion. Trustee Baker seconded. Is there public comment?
No public comment this time, Madam Chair.
Okay, is there any more discussion on the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Information item 14.1, board policies, first reading.
All right, board, bear with me here. So this is a first reading of BP on grading and academic record symbols. Nothing major. It's simply the addition of a FW grading grading term here highlighted for you. And this is a first reading.
Thanks, Armando. We'll move on to action item 14.2, board policies, second reading. Is there public comment?
No public comment on at this time, Madam Chair.
Motion to approve.
Trustee Dodd made a motion.
Second.
Trustee Rios seconded. And is there discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Reports 15.1, President and Cabinet reports.
Good evening. Tonight, I'd like to highlight two grant applications that we submitted in the month of July. The first one is really the product of about a year of meeting and planning in anticipation that the Department of Education would open another HSI Title V grant opportunity. So you'll notice that the 5 themes that we've coordinated the grant application around reflect things that we've been talking about and are in alignment with our EMP and our other planning documents. So the focus is on the 15 to Finish initiative, dual enrollment expansion, an investment in credit for prior learning, and really expanding those opportunities for our students. The Student Center and advising reform, and also degree audit and program mapping. So the proposed project would be covering the period of October 1st, 25 through September 30th, 2030, a 5-year period. The grant award amount that we might be eligible for is up to $3 million. It is a competitive grant, and there is a lot in flux at the Department of Education. So we are not sure when we'll hear either way about it, but typically this might be known around September or October. The second application that we've submitted is to the Chancellor's Office for an industry-driven regional collaborative grant. This is focused on a very specific certificate program that we are proposing developing, which combines expertise from the two departments, VWT and GIS, Geographical Information Systems, with the focus on really using AI, modern technologies to help inform how vineyards are cared for and managed. And so one of the goals that we would have as part of this grant is to also achieve Napa Green certification for our own Napa Valley College vineyard, as well as prepare students to be able to support that in the vineyards that they work in after completing the certificate program. This is also a competitive grant. It is up to $500,000 over 2.25 years. This had an incredibly short application period of about 2 weeks. So we submitted on July 10th, and they say that they'll let us know July 21st, which is next week. So this could be an amazing thing that we hear about, and we'll provide an update at our next board meeting. Thank you.
Good evening, board. I have just 3 items I want to talk to you tonight about. The first item, as Armando pulls up the report here, is I want to highlight the work of the Admissions and Records Counseling Financial Aid Department, as they've been hosting and will continue to host the Napa Valley College Registration Days. So as you heard me speak on this before, this is just an opportunity for us to really offer that one-stop shop model to students on these specific dates, where students can come in, either a brand new student or a returning student, and get all the support that they need to get enrolled and or connected to the college in a seamless way. So the goal here is really, again, to assist specifically our newer students to get onboarded, but again, it's open to all students in the 1300 building, the Welcome Center. So collaboration across these departments, and again, we've been doing this now a couple of years. Long-term goal really is to see how this will then really evolve into a more of a one-stop shop experience for our students that we hope will be coming soon. So that's what the work of that department has been doing. Also want to highlight the STEM Summer Bridge program. This is July 28th through August 7th, really the work of the MESA Center and MESA staff. So really the STEM Summer Bridge program is an opportunity for graduating high school seniors to come to Napa Valley College and really be exposed to STEM fields, STEM majors over a couple of week period. In addition to that, receive a college orientation course, kind of how to manage the college experience, is Counseling 97. But more importantly, it's around building networks and connections. So connecting them to faculty, connecting them to other students and to other support networks is critical as part of this summer bridge orientation for the STEM major students. And and also there's a field trip involved. So they get to go visit a couple of universities. And it's a pretty robust program from 9 to 3. I do want to highlight there's no homework because we want to make sure that they get that full college summer experience. So a lot of work happening there. I really applaud the MESA STEM staff for able to put that on again this year. My final update will be around River Trail Village on July 15th. We had our second summit, which really focused on bringing the partners together and talking about our collaborative efforts to continue to really do intentional marketing and discussing the student life experience at River Trail. So it was a really good opportunity to really develop some goals, to align our thinking and really enter next academic year with a plan of engagement and a way to support our students to be successful in housing. So I want to just provide some numbers for you. As of yesterday, or 2 days ago, the occupancy at River Trail was 47.3. This includes our summer conferencing. So I want to highlight the fall numbers we're seeing is the way as they're coming in is right around 27%. We have seen an influx of students coming in over the last several weeks. And of course, through all of our marketing efforts and our planning, we hope to continue to increase that number and really build that robust, powerful experience for students. That concludes my report.
I'll be brief and just refer you to my written report. I just like to highlight a few areas. First of all, our federal funding outlook is still, let's wait and see, with the exception of our Triple S Trio program. We have a portion of that expiring in August, the end of August, and we have some associated costs with that. So we are looking at that in terms of how we backfill those services and personnel costs associated with that portion of the Triple S Trio program. The long-term ability to fund some of these federally funded programs, as you know, still remains a bit on the bubble. So we will keep you apprised of how that's playing out. The student housing audit, we concluded and had an exit meeting with the auditor. You may recall that the Board of Governors requested that housing operations across the 9 institutions across the state, including UC, CSU, and community colleges, be audited. I'll share with you, I was a little concerned that they wouldn't find anything because we'd only been open for 15 minutes. And that's what we found, is that they didn't find anything. There are no recommendations for Napa. There are a few good suggestions about how we might get information out to students and where it should be posted, et cetera. But we anticipate that the formal audit will be published at the end of August, and we will bring that back to the board and to the local college community. I would also share with you that in the campus solar solution that you adopted is looking at a change in rules with PG&E that may limit our return on that. So we are speaking with Forefront Energy now, and I'll bring back to you a more robust report on that at our next meeting. I would call to your attention our auxiliary services, our storm cup update, which Trustee Dodd may be referencing a little later. I won't steal his thunder. Our Performing Arts Center has several productions now, and the Napa Valley Writers Conference is in full swing as we speak. Some very exciting and longstanding programs here at Napa Valley College. And with that, I'll conclude my report. Thank you.
Just a few quick updates for me. Want to say formally, welcome Armando. We are very happy to have you on board. Chief of Staff position is a big job, and a few weeks in, I'm happy to say that Armando is filling shoes as about as well as we can expect for Catherine Kittle. So glad to have you on board. Just a couple of quick updates for me. I want to just share the thanks to the campus community, to our 2 trustees, Baker and Olson, to my executive staff members, to Dr. Mora, to Dr. G, for your participation in the 4th of July parade. It was a fun time, great time. Napa Valley College showed out very well. And of course, want to extend an extra special thank you to Jenna Sanders, our PIO, who stepped in and coordinated all logistics and details for 4th of July on very short notice. It was a great job, great showing. Really appreciate your efforts and your work. So thank you. A couple of other things. I had the opportunity this past weekend to attend a couple of Festival Napa Valley events, including the Gala, which was very nice. It was very nice of Festival Napa Valley to invite me to attend. A great showing there. So glad that I had a presence there at Festival Napa Valley. And I also want to highlight that we have been asked to participate and actually produce a press release from our partner N2N, which is the company that we have partnered with to conduct our fraud mitigation services for students. I think this is a testament to the work of Dr. Mora and her team. The fact that N2N has specifically highlighted Napa Valley College as essentially the model for how we can address the ghost student issue and really mitigate concerns with fraudulent student accounts. We are very proactive and aggressive in this space for obvious reasons. I think most and foremost being the continued concern and need to ensure that the students that we have occupying our courses are actual students and not people that are looking to defraud the government. And so I just want to make note of that, the fact that we are very much leading the state as it relates to best strategies in fraud mitigation, and give public thanks to Dr. Moore and her team for their hard work in addressing that. So, and with that, I end my report.
Thank you all. Let's move to standing committee and other appointment reports. Trustee DeLuna, do you have anything to report from CCCT? Audit and finance, nothing. Ledge affairs, nothing. Let's see, DOS, Trustee Iverson, no. VWT, Rios, Trustee Rios?
Nope.
Foundation Board, Trustee Dodd?
There's really not that much thunder to steal. We're having a meeting next week, so I'll have more to report at our next board meeting.
All right, then we will move to future agenda items. Are there requests for agenda items? Okay, last information item 15.4, trustee and board chair reports. Student trustee Dizon.
I'm nervous. As a very involved student at Mesa and I'm part of the planning for the STEM Summer Bridge program, just wanted to express thanks to the professors taking the time out of their schedules to participate in the program with us. And then also with my engaging with various club activities, just wanted to note that there's a number of the clubs who are expressing concerns about the recent weekend parking pass requirements and how it will affect their capacity to plan events on the weekend that involve like the broader community, and how it may discourage people outside of the campus to come and attend. And that is all.
Thanks very much. Good job. Trustee Kishnev.
I attended the Meet Me in the Street event in American Canyon on July 9th. I was sad to see that we didn't have a booth there this month. Hopefully we will have a booth there on August 13th, 5 to 8. It's a great time. If anybody feels like traveling to American Canyon, love to see you. Today would have been my dad's 84th birthday. He passed away in 2023. Happy birthday, Dad. That's all I have to report.
Thank you, Trustee Kishnev. Trustee DeLuna? Trustee Baker? No report. Trustee Dodd?
No report.
Trustee Iverson? Trustee Rios? I don't have a report either. Continue. You want to try and push it to 6:30? All right. Our next regular meeting will be August 21, 2025. And with that, we are adjourned at 6:13.